Your home already does more than you think. The question is whether it's doing enough. What if your lights understood the shape of your room? What if your front door opened before you reached it? What if your floors cleaned themselves, your curtains responded to the sun, and your garden stayed perfectly manicured without you ever picking up a tool? That version of home exists right now, and these are the 10 pieces of technology making it real. It starts with light, because light is the one thing that changes how every room feels. Smart lighting has been colorful, automated, and voice-controlled for years, but there's always been a problem. The lights never actually knew where they were. A sunset scene might look beautiful in theory and completely wrong in your living room, because every lamp was working with its own idea of what that scene should look like, with no understanding of the space it was in. Philips Hue SpatialAware changes that. It maps your room using your smartphone camera, identifies the physical position of every single light, and then distributes color scenes the way natural light actually works. Warm on one side, cooler on the other. Gradients shifting across the room the way a real sunset would. Smart lighting that finally understands the space it lives in. And light is only part of what makes a room feel alive. Sound has always asked homeowners to choose between quality and aesthetics. Big speakers that fill a room with audio but dominate it visually. Compact speakers that look great but can't hold their own. It's never been a comfortable compromise. The Samsung Music Studio 5 was designed by Erwan Barulik, a sculptor, not just an engineer, and it shows. Its dot design sits on a shelf, a mantle, or a side table like a piece of considered decor. But behind that form is a 4-inch woofer, dual front-firing tweeters, and Samsung Audiolab tuning that delivers Dolby Atmos wireless audio that feels like it's coming from the room itself. This is sound that earns its place in the room. The smallest automations are often the ones you notice most. There's something about curtains. The way opening them properly in the morning sets the tone for the day. The way closing them at night signals the shift to rest. The way you always mean to do it, and somehow it's still not done. It's a small thing, but it adds up. The SwitchBot Curtain 3 clips directly onto your existing curtain rod. No drilling, no new hardware, no replacement curtains required. A motor twice as powerful as the previous generation handles curtains up to 16 kilograms, moving them quietly enough that you won't hear it from the next room. Pair it with a solar panel, and it charges itself from the light coming through the very window it controls. Build schedules around sunrise and sunset. Connect it to your smart home ecosystem via the SwitchBot Hub. Set your curtains to open when your alarm goes off in the morning and close when the temperature drops in the afternoon. This makes your curtains respond to the rhythm of your day automatically. That same sensitivity to time, to environment, to the patterns of how you actually live extends far deeper into the home than most thermostats have ever reached. Temperature control has always been a blunt instrument. Set a temperature, walk away, forget that the room is empty for 6 hours, or that the energy grid is running on cleaner sources at 2 p.m., or that your schedule changed and nobody thought to tell the thermostat. The Aqara W200 is a 4-in-1 smart home hub built into a single wall-mounted device. It controls your HVAC, compatible with furnaces, heat pumps, boilers, and PTACs, but it does it intelligently. A built-in MM-wave radar sensor detects occupancy, so the temperature adjusts automatically when you leave and when you return, without you touching anything. It supports Apple's adaptive temperature and clean energy guidance features, timing your heating and cooling to use cleaner energy when the grid allows it. It manages over 50 connected device types via Thread and Zigbee, turning it into the central nervous system for everything around it. And its 4-inch touchscreen activates the moment you walk toward it. The W200 is climate control that thinks, adapts, and learns. And when the home starts responding intelligently on the inside, it makes sense that the boundary between inside and outside becomes just as intelligent. Most doorbell cameras are an afterthought, a wide-angle lens and a notification that fires, whether it's a visitor or a shadow. The Aqara G400 was built with a different expectation entirely. Its 2K resolution and 165-degree field of view are captured in a 3:4 aspect ratio. Portrait, not landscape, so you see everything from a face at the door to a package sitting on the ground below it, a detail most cameras simply miss. 940-nanometer infrared LEDs deliver full HD clarity in total darkness without a visible light source. On-device AI handles person recognition and zone detection without a cloud connection. If there's no internet, the camera still works, recording directly to a micro SD card up to 512 gigabytes and automatically backing up to a NAS. Power over Ethernet keeps it running continuously with no batteries, no interruptions, and no dependency on Wi-Fi signal strength. And unlike most alternatives, there is no monthly subscription. You pay once, you own everything it records.
But knowing who's at the door is only part of the picture. What happens next matters just as much. The Aqara Smart Lock U400 is the world's first smart lock to use ultra-wideband technology with Apple HomeKey. And the difference between UWB and every other proximity unlock system is the difference between a lock that guesses and a lock that knows. UWB uses precise directional sensing to determine exactly where you are relative to the door, not just that your phone is nearby. The lock only engages when you approach from outside, eliminating accidental unlocks when you're sitting on the other side of the wall. In real-world testing, the door was unlocking before users had finished walking up the path. 6 access methods are built in: fingerprint, NFC, passcode, remote app control, voice assistant, and mechanical key. Autolock engages via a built-in gyroscope, IP65 weatherproofing, a 4,880 mAh battery that charges via USB-C and lasts up to 6 months. A door that opens for you and only you.
Security that responds to the front door is one thing. Security that watches the entire property is something else entirely. The Reolink OMVI 3i PoE replaces 2 traditional cameras with one. Its 18-megapixel triple lens system combines a 10-megapixel dual-lens panoramic camera delivering a 180-degree field of view with an 8-megapixel pan-tilt tracking lens that locks onto motion and follows it automatically in real time. Both feeds are visible simultaneously in the Reolink app, so you can watch the full scene and zoom in on the detail at the same time. Reonura AI handles local object detection and false alarm filtering. Power over Ethernet means continuous, uninterrupted coverage. One mounting point, one cable. Total situational awareness. And with the home now secure, aware, and intelligent, the experience of living inside it can finally match. The living room has always been designed around the screen, but screens have always had limits. Sizes that stop short of cinematic, brightness that fades under ambient light, placement that depends on where a wall exists rather than where it makes sense. The Hisense XR10 removes those limits. At its core is the LPU 3.0 digital laser engine, a pure RGB triple laser light source producing 6,000 ANSI lumens of brightness. That number matters because it means you no longer need a dedicated darkroom. The XR10 performs in ambient light, with the curtains open, in a living space that's actually being used. 17 all-glass lenses manage light transmittance and thermal stability, while the Iris system, a hardware-based 7-level aperture mechanism, dynamically controls contrast to maintain 6,000-to-1 ratio across changing conditions. It projects up to 300 inches. An optical zoom range of 0.84x to 2.0 with hardware lens shift makes placement flexible. No precise ceiling mounting required, no dedicated projection room needed. Devialet-designed 2.1-channel audio with Dolby Atmos is built in. This is a cinema that fits the room you already have.
What makes a home genuinely smart isn't the things it can do when you ask. It's the things it handles without you ever noticing. Floor care is constant, not because it's hard, but because it never stops. You clean it today, and life undoes it by tomorrow. The robot vacuums that were supposed to solve this have spent years getting close. The NARWAL Flow 2 gets there. At the heart of it is the NARMind Pro autonomous system, dual 1080p RGB cameras with 136-degree ultra-wide fields of view, running a vision language model that enables unlimited contextual object recognition. It doesn't just see obstacles, it understands them, classifies them, and adapts its path in real time. When confidence is insufficient on device, it escalates to the cloud and updates its model across the fleet. 31,000 pascals of suction, a dual-flow tangle-free brush system. The Flow Wash rolling track mop continuously self-cleans using 16 nozzles and 140-degree heated water, scrubbing and washing in the same pass without spreading dirty water back across the floor. The base station self-empties, washes the mop with hot water, and hot air dries it automatically, up to 120 days of hands-free operation before you need to intervene.
And then the home extends outward, because the most intelligent version of your living space doesn't stop at the front door. The garden has always been the last room that automation forgot. Robotic mowers existed, but they needed perimeter wires buried in the ground, RTK antennas, complex calibrations that took the better part of a weekend to complete. And after all that effort, they still struggled with slopes, obstacles, and anything more complex than a flat rectangular lawn. The DREAME A3 AWD1000 starts without any of that. No wires, no antennas, no GPS stakes. OmniSense 3.0, a fusion of 360-degree 3D LiDAR and binocular AI vision, maps your lawn on its first run and builds a 3D virtual boundary automatically, recognizing over 300 common obstacles, including pets, tools, and uneven terrain. True four-wheel drive with hub motors handles slopes up to 80% gradient, terrain that would stop most robotic mowers entirely. EdgeMaster technology extends the cutting disc outward along borders, keeping the trim under 2 inches from the boundary. Noise stays below 63 decibels. It runs at night. A garden that maintains itself on its own schedule in any condition. The last piece of the home that needed to catch up.
10 upgrades. One home that finally works the way a home should. Lights that understand your space. A door that knows it's you. Floors and gardens that maintain themselves. Screens that fill a wall with cinema. A thermostat that thinks ahead so you don't have to. This is what smart living looks like when the technology stops asking for your attention and starts quietly making everything better. If that's the kind of home you're building, subscribe. There's more where this came from, and links to every single product on this list are waiting for you in the description below.